Welcome to the personalized cookie class. This is a fun class where you can make your cookies for kids, friends, family, or neighbors. You can write their names on it and make it extra special for them. We'll go through it step by step and do it together. For this class, you'll need red, white, dark green, and light green. We're going to start with our mitten cookie. Grab your red piping frosting, and we're going to do it in two sections. Draw a line along the top of the cuff and then draw the outline of the rest of the cuff. Then, making sure that the lines are connected, draw the rest of the outline of the glove. Get your red flooding icing. You'll fill in that top part. Start along the outer edges and work your way to the center. Grab your boo-boo stick and drag the icing to all of the edges. We're going to do this in two different steps for the flooding to get that 3D look. So you're going to let this dry before we add the cuff section. Once it is dry and a little bit hardened, you're going to go ahead and fill it in, start along the outer edges and work your way to the center. Grab your boo-boo stick and make those small circles to drag it to all of the edges. And there you'll get your 3D look between the two sections. For the details, I used my white piping bag, and what we're going to do is we're going to draw lines to create the pattern of the glove. So first I drew a rectangle, and you can do that by doing two lines all the way across and then connecting them at the shorter edges. Then I did two lines in between the rectangles, did another rectangle, two more lines, and again, to make those rectangles you can make it as two lines all the way across and then connecting them at the shorter edges. We're going to make another rectangle here, and it was cut off between that thumb and the rest of the mitten, which is just fine. You'll end the rectangle and then you'll start back up on the other part to make sure that it's lined up. Those two lines in between, draw the rectangle, and you can do any pattern you'd like. If the rectangles seem a little bit too tricky for you, that's totally fine. Just do lines all the way to the top to create that pattern of the glove. If there are any edges sticking out, go ahead and use that wide end of your boo-boo stick and just smooth those edges out. Get your white flooding bag, and we're going to fill in those rectangles. Again, just work on the outer edges, even in this small space. And smooth out any of the areas with your boo-boo stick. For the writing, it is easier if you're new to writing with frosting to do uppercase letters. What you're going to do, just like we do with our cookie, you're going to anchor your bag to the cookie and you're just going to draw in simple lines. Make it special for your kids, friends, loved ones. There you have your cute mitten. Next, we're going to work on the stocking, and we're going to do this in 2 sections as well. So grab your dark green piping bag and outline that top portion of the stocking. Grab your white piping bag, and at the top you're going to want to make sure that you start where the bottom of the green touches to make that barrier. Fill in the white part first because you want to make that 3D look. Fill it in with white flooding consistency. Once it's dry and hardened just a little bit, you'll add the dark green flooding consistency to the top. Grab your boo-boo stick and make those small circles to drag the icing to all of the edges. For the details on this cookie, I used my white piping frosting to write the name, and again I did it in uppercase letters. Just break down your lettering in simple lines and curves. Then I added some details and I outlined the top of the stocking with a dark green line. Then I added some trees with my light green, so I drew 3 lines separated, and then I went back and I drew angled lines to create those pine trees. If this seems a little overwhelming, you could always just do polka dots or lines. And again, for that extra detail, grab your white piping bag and you're going to just draw an outline of the white section. And there you have your personalized stocking. Next, we're going to work on our green and white glove. So again, you'll start by drawing a line at the top of the cuff and then finish outlining the bottom of the cuff. I did the hand section of the mitten white, so I used my white piping bag and I outlined the edges of my cookie. Get your dark green flooding consistency and you're going to fill in that cuff. So start along the outer edges, work your way to the middle, grab that boo-boo stick and make those small circles to drag the icing to the edges. You're going to do the same part with the white section. You're going to fill it in with your white flooding consistency. And then to add that personalization, you can write this in uppercase or lowercase, whatever is easiest and most comfortable for you. You could also write the name on the cuff of the cookie. If you make any mistakes, don't hesitate to use that boo-boo stick to fix them. That's what it's there for. Time to add those extra details. Grab your dark green piping bag and I just drew lines underneath the name and above the name to frame it on the glove. To add another detail, I drew lines on the cuff to give it more of a textured look. Then, one more time, I outlined the cuff. And there you have another personalized glove. We're going to work on our ornament, so grab your red piping bag and you're going to outline the bottom part of the cookie. Leave the hook on top. We're going to outline the top hook of the cookie with a white piping consistency, and we're just going to leave that open so that it looks like it can go right on the tree with the hook. Grab your red flooding consistency, and we're going to fill in starting along the outer edges and working our way to the center. Grab your boo-boo stick and make those small circles to drag the icing to the edge. A fun trend right now is to add some snow onto your ornament. So you're going to follow the outline at the top of the cookie with your white piping frosting, and then you're going to go to the top third section of the ornament and you're going to create a little squiggly line and fill it in with your white flooding frosting. Use your boo-boo stick to drag any extra icing to the edges. To create that snow look, you'll want white sanding sugar. Get a bowl or a plate to catch the extra sprinkles. You're just going to sprinkle it right on that white section while it's still wet. Shake off the extra, and then you have your snow look. For the personalization, you can do this in uppercase or lowercase, whatever you're more comfortable with, and do it in simple small sections. And there you have your personalized ornament. These are perfect for kids, grandparents, or anyone for Christmas this year.